right, we're live now. How are you doing, my body language buddies? Where are you viewing from? Let me know, where are you now? Where are you viewing from? As usual, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and I welcome you again to another live. This time we're going to be talking about, Harry's refusal to come back to the UK for Prince Philip's memorial service, and William being smeared all over the place on the internet. Something that was completely out of hand. We're going to be studying what happened in both cases, what is happening with both cases, and how can we apply what we learned from this going on. As usual, if you're new, if this is your first live, this is the dynamic. We talk, I read your comments, we talk about these two topics and maybe a couple more. If you suggest topics, if you have questions and they are part of the topic that we will be covering today, then we can address that. You could be talking about 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and maybe then if we end up in a totally different topic, well, that's something that I can never predict. So just be aware about that. Lives are like a notepad where I juggle ideas. I share ideas with you. I read your comments, your chat, your ideas, and we have this back and forth. So it's much easier to build something better together. Just like I was thinking today about doing one video on this smear campaign. It's almost a smear campaign on William. It was like on purpose for what he said on Ukraine. Well, let me see, where are you from? From Scotland, Nebraska, Ohio. I saw New Zealand a couple minutes ago. Yeah, this is like a bunch of friends sitting around having a great conversation. Yes, Rachel, that's it. Good morning. Sydney, Australia. This is good morning, 9 a.m. there. Great. Seattle, Washington. Pennsylvania. Quebec. England, Ireland. Panama, Queensland, Amsterdam. I love Amsterdam. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. I hope to come back someday, but right now I'm not planning to travel much. North Carolina, but British. Texas, Greece, France, Sweden. This is great. This is all over the world. South Australia, Michigan, California, Turkey, Spain, Croatia, Belgium. My God, all over the world. I'm really grateful to have you here. How many are we now? Almost 800. Just hit the like button. This is that easy. If you want to support my channel, if you like these lives, you want to support it, just by now, just all you have to do is subscribe. Well, you have to subscribe, to leave comments, and you can also hit the like button. If you feel like asking a very precise, a very complex or on-point question, just please, you can use your super chats. You can also support my channel with super stickers. And if you want to donate to keep the lights on, just, well, there's a link, a PayPal link in the description. I'm trying to figure out how to make this live with a little more information. Of course, I'm trying to, with the very minimum, trying to figure out things first, because I don't want to overcomplicate the process. This is a very complicated. I did some research. You cannot read and talk at the same time. These are processes that happen in the brain that cannot happen simultaneously. You can say out loud what you're reading, but you cannot read and say another thing at the same time. That's something that I can do. or anyone can do for that matter. Yeah, this will be a big question. How does this all end? What is the end game of? I think there's no end game as such, Karen. I think this is gonna be ongoing for a lot of time, many years. But one can wonder how much the hierarchs would want to be the I don't know, most popular royals without being royals, and with a popularity that is based on what I call very cheap attention. How much would they want that? We know that Meghan really wants it, and she wants her not acting career, her political career. Oh, watching from Japan. That's great. That's great. Okay. I didn't realize you did live streams. I've been catching up on your videos and absolutely love your astute observation. Thank you, Colette. Thanks a lot. I apologize in advance if I mispronounce any of your names or cities or anything. I'm still learning a lot about pronunciation and doing my best for this and having a constant flow of thoughts to do this better and better. And I think I was going to do today this recorded video, my pre-recorded videos. If you're new to my channel, I do 9-minute pre-recorded videos on different topics about the British royal family and body language. And I'm trying to do this lives more often because I think they're great to just have this back and forth ideas. Are very interesting, and especially that I can see your feedback in real time. How about a wine live? We should do that. A wine live. Absolutely, we should do that sometime. But I was going to do this 9-minute video, pre-recorded video on William's taken out of context. His words were not taken out of context. What happened is that someone put words that he did not say that is much more messy and dangerous in itself. And if you're not aware of what happened with William, he said some remarks about this conflict between Russia and Ukraine. He says that for our generation, this is really alien. This really strange, really uncommon to be seeing this in Europe, right? That's all that he said, and that's more or less the truth. He was trying to say that this is unbelievable that this could be happening in Europe, and someone. I haven't been able to pinpoint who was the one who just screwed up or did this in purpose. I cannot say that because it's a real mess to pinpoint who was the first person that put these words on his mouth. But this person said basically that he was saying that it's natural, that's common. This kind of conflicts are common and natural, are commonplace in Africa, for example, or in Asia. Okay, and that's not what he said. He said he never mentioned those countries. He never said anything at all. But one person said that, and it's like there was this snowball effect that everyone else went running to just share it everywhere and take it for granted. This is what he said, and nobody bothered to really check such an outrageous remark. Nobody stopped to think, hey, this doesn't sound like William at all. Even so-called royal correspondents, people that have been doing this for way more time than I've been doing it, I think it's officially I have been doing this for less than a year to be assigned. Let's say that I've been doing this for less than a year. I instantly noticed that he couldn't have possibly said that. I want to watch the video. I've always said that you have to go to the source. You have to see the person actually saying those words. And yes, you can have deep fakes that are these special effects that you can make someone act like if he was doing something with the face of another person. This deep fakes, but right now there's still not polished the technology to fake the voice. All right, we still don't have the technology to fake voice. There are great advances on it. And you can have, in all cases, an impersonator, people that are good voice impersonators of famous celebrities, and that could work. But it's a lot of work, and in all cases, you are winning yourself immediate lawsuit, immediate defamation lawsuit if you do something like that. So I don't understand how this works. These people, royal correspondents, they have the title. They are paid to do whatever they do, like report on the royals. I am not a correspondent. I am a commentator. I think I'm not over the news, but I try to make sense of whatever happens. I just comment. These are my opinions as such, and try to make sense of what is happening. I don't report that. So until one has that original video, and finally, thanks to I have the image around that. In my next live, I want to try to like manage my scenes and manage my content so I can show snippets of information, of graphic information, as I'm talking. I don't know how to do it yet. It's like I have to practice a bit more with this. But the fact is that a video surfaced online, luckily surfaced, when there was his exact words, what he said, and it was that he was talking about Europe and our generation. Many people claim, how could you say that? How could you say that in Europe hasn't been any wars? And people began even mentioning the 100-year war that happened so long ago. And he said, our generation, our generation hasn't seen this kind of conflicts on such a scale, maybe such a scale. I am not a historian. Maybe I'm wrong too. Maybe I'm saying something, but it's like the wrong part of this is that someone put words on his quote that he never said. Okay? And this is very important. Sally, thanks for your remark. This could simply be put to rest if the Prince of Misinformation would have spoken. Harry is the avatar, the worldwide leader on misinformation. He has even been invited to this online events when he speaks about the dangers of misinformation, how much harm can this do, and he said nothing. He said that this was absolutely unfair. This was one call away to his brother. Hey, Wills, did you really say this such and such? And he said nothing. He said nothing of the sort. And Harry could have spoken out. After all, he is not part of the working royals anymore. He is not subject to this never explain, never complain. He would have talked about that. And it would have been great for his own image to the world. I don't understand how this works, but if I was part of his team of public relations agency, I would have told him, come forward. Say it. This is not what happened. This is absolute bollocks. This is horseshit. This is no other way. And somehow Harry will have earned a bit of credibility with that. But he didn't. He missed the opportunity. It was a really, really missed opportunity. And I don't understand what is the plan. But let's see if he has to do with the fact that he is not willing to go to Prince Philip's memorial service. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. And the problem is that when someone put the words Africa or the word Africa in William's mouth, all hell broke loose. All right? Because you know how the internet is with the R word. The R word. He was called racist in every possible way, from every possible angle, from every possible media. It was like 100 people, okay, with their blue check marks on Twitter, waiting for William to screw up anything and just jump over it. It's like they are constantly like waiting, like refreshing their timeline, waiting for something to happen, for William to do something wrong, and they just jump on it. And it's understandable for two reasons. I'm not going to justify that attitude, but human behavior dictates, I don't make the rules, I say it all the time, human behavior dictates that if you have such a long track record of clean track record of not being involved in scandals, or any scandal like your supposed cheating was already debunked. Yeah, and I made a summary in a previous video. Then people are going to be even more eager, like even more invested in watching you fall. This is basic human behavior. It's like envy that multiplicates and exponentially as time goes by. They say it's impossible that one person can be so perfect, nothing happened with him, nothing wrong, etc. And it's also a fact that these people will be jealous of Catherine, and not only William and Catherine, but them as a couple, not to mention their kids. It's insane. It's pure insanity. And I think if we can get something good, so to speak, or something valuable from what happened to William, is how much envy and toxicity can be in the internet, just waiting for people to do anything wrong, especially when they have such a track record, and especially when they represent such a huge institution of hundreds of years, that so many people have so much hate on it. It's something. It's sick. It's sick. It's no way. It's absolutely no way. Jealousy. So another word. Insanely jealous people. Yes, that's another way to put it. But it's like, yes, they're waiting for it. You may think that it's not deserved, and it's absolutely not deserved. That William did not deserve that. How did he respond? He didn't. And he didn't because the same reason of what happened when he supposedly had cheated on Catherine, and all those remarks about he cheating on Catherine. He never did that. All of that were nonsense. So you don't respond to nonsense. And this is absurdly difficult for any person. And I absolutely understand. I've been using Twitter for, let me see, more than 1 decade, more than 10 years. I made a long pause of 5 to 6 years, and I came back in 2019. And I can guarantee you that one of the most important things about Twitter and social media and the internet in general is that you have to be very careful who do you respond to. First and foremost, for your energy. Who deserves your energy? Who deserves your answer? Who deserves your attention? Nobody deserves that especially if they are attacking you in a way that you know that is absolutely, they're doing that for attention, right? nobody has the right to your attention if they are attacking you in a way that you say that this is absolutely nonsense. That makes your blood boil. You have a reaction. You don't like it. You think it's unfair. You think you're forced. You need to explain yourself or argue with the person or quote tweet the person and make a scandal of it. But when you do that, they are winning because they are sapping you from your energy. This is not easy at all. Not responding, not paying attention, and trying to measure, trying to address what is the scope of whatever this flag that you're getting. If the flag is really affecting you, if it's doxing, when people publish private info, your private information, they publish it online. That's doxing. That's something that you have act upon, but not harassing or answering them. Just reporting the tweet, reporting to Twitter, reporting to the social media that you're on. Okay, and in much, it's extremely low the amount of moments when people actually deserve your answer when they are attacking you. It's not worth it. It's not worth your energy. Sometimes maybe you want to make an example for others to not mess with you. I did it here a couple lives. Someone said, "Why did you block me on Twitter?" I said, "Well, if you are blocking Twitter, if I block you in Twitter, it must have been for a reason. So you are banned here too. I don't block people like I'm block happy. If I blocked you, it was for a reason. But I don't say anything else. I don't give explanations. I don't give any reasons. I just block people and that's it. And that's for my mental health. I used to argue with people. I used to fall into that trap. Into the trap that I had to answer the naysayers, the trolls, the haters, and it just saps your energy. And it's that like you're proving their point, that you have to explain yourself. I always said, I'm going to repeat it again, you should never explain yourself because your friends do not need that. Your enemies will not believe you, and everyone else will not care. It's that simple. That's the equation. You should never explain yourself. Now, there are some times that someone says it's like this case. There was a case on this YouTuber Tasha K with it was this singer. It was Tasha K with who was it? I cannot remember. If you can refresh my memory, I will really love that. Was this case of Tasha K that was claiming that this Cardi B, yes, thank you, Chirai. Cardi B, Tasha K accused, not accused, said that Cardi B has all this kind of stuff that I cannot repeat here, and that was pure and simple defamation, and that's really awful. That this person with such a platform, and that is important. If you see that someone, thank you all for reminding me that it was Cardi B. Thank you. If someone that has, I don't know, I'm not measuring people by the amounts of followers they have, because I don't think the value of people is about the amount of followers of or subscribers. I don't think that works that way. We have each and every single one of us have their own unique value that is incalculable. It's each and every single one of us is invaluable, so to speak. But you have to put things in perspective. That is not the same thing that one person with 100 followers on Twitter calls you a blockhead, okay? And maybe it makes your blood boil, or says that you're stupid or something worse than that. And someone with a platform of 1 million subscribers tells you that you've been doing activities that really detriment your reputation. Okay, it's a direct attack on your reputation. That's a whole different ball game, like Megan said on the Oprah interview. A whole different ball game. But you have to address that. How wrong is this? And most probably, you will not solve that when it reaches that level. You will not solve it just arguing with people on Twitter. No, you have to call your lawyer. Hey, you have to call your lawyer and go directly over this. There are many people on the internet, I'm not gonna mention them here, people that so-called are like have this witch hunt. I know that you might be guessing who am I talking about. I'm not gonna name the person. I'm not gonna give the person publicity here for free. I'm not doing this. But this witch hunt on Twitters, on tweets, on YouTubers who talk bad of the forever glorious Duchess of Sussex, and they're constantly talking about legal action and stuff, and people that are going through some things, and it's like, I don't know how to say that in English, but it's like a dog that barks never bites. I don't know if there's expression like that in English, but that's more like in Spanish. But people do not go for rambling on Twitter because it's losing your energy, and you can most probably you can lose your temper and say something that you're gonna regret, and you're gonna make things worse, and you're gonna make your case. You're gonna mess up with your case. That's why your lawyer, the first thing that your lawyer is gonna say, and I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, okay? Please take consideration of that. This is not legal advice. But the first thing your lawyer is gonna say, do not reply, do not say anything, just a screenshot, just make a receipts of everything, okay? And let's see how this goes. And how do we contact this person? Who do we report them to Twitter and do all the necessary steps to make a cease and desist letter or a plain lawsuit? But it's much more formal. Anything that is contacting directly or interacting directly with trolls, haters, is lost energy. You cannot win, no matter. I tried to do it many times, and I tried to do it for a very silly reason. And you're gonna laugh at this, but I haven't been that humble all the time. My internet and social media life, and so sometimes I like to reply with witty, snarky comments to these trolls just to appear that I was snarky and witty. And I don't need that. I don't need to reply to a troll. I prefer to invest that energy in making my videos and make my snarky and witty remarks for something constructive, not to bring awareness to a troll or a hater with 10 or 20 subscribers. There's nobody in the platform cannot harm me or cannot harm you if it's the case. Maybe you are afraid of interacting more as yourself in the social media because you don't want to deal with these trolls personally. But the dealing is just that. Never explain, never complain. You don't need to explain yourself. It's magical. There's 4 words that it's magical. Is that it? I've seen reports about that Frogmore Cottage had been lost or something. I was trying to do some research like minutes before we started the live. If you know something, just let me know about Frogmore Cottage. Okay, so this is one of the best advice. The best advice that anyone, not me, anyone can give you in your interactions on social media and the internet. Do not feed the trolls. Do not feed the trolls. Do not interact with them. Just block them away. Do not mute. It's something that is I think there's nothing more useless than muting in on Twitter, because they can still be talking about you in your own threads, in your own tweets. No, you block them, and just like that, you don't give reasons, you don't say anything. I've been received direct messages. Why did you block me? This is so unfair. And on another account, they have like two accounts, and they're writing to me from another account. But it's something that you have to be really aware. It's your energy. Your energy. You do not invest. I made the mistake of, I want to be seen like snarky, sarcastic, witty, intelligent, whatever you call it, in front of my followers. Let's rip this person to shreds, and let's hang their corpse in the middle of the main hall of my Twitter account. That doesn't work. That really is bad taste. Sometimes I don't understand why these accounts of people, including, I mentioned Jordan Peterson, for example, accounts like Jordan Peterson, they begin arguing with trolls. Like, they need to argue. And I think it's a very personal opinion, but it's a waste of energy. It's really fun. It's fun indeed watching Jordan Peterson ripping people to shreds. Okay, I cannot deny it. It's fun. I think he does for that. He does it for it. So we can have a fun time doing it. I think we need to be very wary of our attention, of our emotions, of our energy, how we sleep, how we eat, how we love everything, and it's even the amount of time we spend in this setting, this digital setting. It's great to have you here. It's great to have close to 2,000 people interacting now, but it's really toxic, and it could be really threatening to your mental health if you pay attention to this kind of attacks. And I think that's what William thought, of course, in the spirit of never explain, never complain, give it at least 48 hours to see what happens, until maybe Kensington Palace made a few calls, said, what kind of mess is this? We're not going to say anything publicly, but what kind of mess is this? They must have all the connections. Like, William and Catherine must have the people to make this kind of calls and say, what the F is happening? Who said this? And so this person could retract, and most of the people could take back the remarks that were absolutely false. It's absolute bollocks. It never happened. Thanks, Megan Small. I have to thank Megan Small because she's one of my trusty moderators here. She keeps the trolls away, along with Charissa. There's around, so her JE, about my trusty moderators here. There always sugars coming in and trying to wreak havoc, but I never let them, and my moderators are great at that. But you're the best. Thank you, and thank you for your super chat. Yes, and then this is something that we should learn, and I'm still learning, because there's this philosophy that I said that will be fun to apply. I applied that for a few months, but I sometimes fall in the old patterns of responding and answering to trolls. When I see a bad remark, or someone that insults me, or someone that says something that I don't like, I please stop and think this very simple formula. Have I answered every single good remark, every single best wish, every single heart emoji, every single good vibe that I've been sent through comments, through direct messages, through chat, everything? No, it's impossible. I received such a barrage of goodwill through every kind of channel that it will be really absurd that I invest a quote tweet or I put for everyone to see someone that is hating on me. Do you see logic in that? Does that seem logic to you? It isn't. It isn't. So many people showing love, and I'm sure that if you have your followers, you have your subscribers, there will be so many people showing love to you in the comments that it doesn't make sense that you spend your energy on those who hate you, on those who want free attention from you, because that's all what they're looking for. That's it. They want the free attention, the free awareness, and that's what I said. I initially was going to how do I say that? I initially was going to do this recorded video, and I was going to put these screenshots of the people who just messed it up and made all these like gross remarks about William. I'm not defending him per se. I'm just mad at the fact that misinformation can really harm people mentally. Maybe not in your reputation, because if you take the work, if you work your reputation, the more you work your reputation, the harder it will be to take you down, especially if there are no proof, if there are no basis for any attacks. But I wanted to highlight these people, but then I said, why should advertise for free these attackers? Why should I mention when they did something wrong? That's why I don't like to mention these people by name, because that will be giving them free attention, free publicity. So I decided to think twice and not make that recorded video, and second, do not highlight their remarks here. First, they are absolutely out of place. Second, I was not going to show their faces or their name. These trolls, any kind of troll or hater or whatever you name it on the internet, they feed on attention. They absolutely need the attention. All these people that feed on this attention are trying to get this attention from anyone, even from attacking you, because they don't get this attention in their private life, in their personal life, and it's sad. These people are just sad beings that don't get attention from anyone, from their partner, from their family, from their friends. Maybe they don't even have friends or family or anything, and the only way to cope with their miserable life, because there's no other way to call it, is to look for attention, attacking people on the internet behind, most of the time, an anonymous account, and in other times behind a supposed job as a royal correspondent. And one of them, I'm going to mention one of them that was absolutely out of place. And I don't know how this works. This is my question for you, because I don't know how this works. One of them is a so-called race correspondent. I read race correspondent, and for the life of me, I believe that it was like motorsports. I don't know, NASCAR, rally, Formula One. I don't know what is a race. What does a race correspondent do? And what do you think? That's one of the who attacked the most and did not retract or much less apologize about it. And the tweet is still out there, and it's earning massive amplification, massive retweets, massive quote tweets. And I want to know, I would really like to know if there's some kind of cap to it, if there's some kind of this person's gonna like come down to their senses and understand that they messed up. But there have been, like, I don't know, 36 hours, and they don't care about it. And it's like when you get the race card out, okay? Like you are absolutely free to do as you please. And I think that's absolutely not nonsense. That is nonsense. Because I don't think, and this goes for everyone. I remember, I'm gonna get in trouble with YouTube for talking like this. I tweeted that today. I'm gonna get in trouble with the big pigs, okay, the bigger pigs, and those bigger pigs are not even remotely in the royal drama. I'm talking about the big pigs. I'm gonna get in trouble with the big pigs because I'm gonna become uncomfortable for many people really soon. And because topics like this, I remember one scene, one line of dialogue from Full Metal Jacket, from Stanley Kubrick, Full Metal Jacket, when Sergeant Gurney, I don't remember, the sergeant, Emily Ernie, said something like, I hate everyone. I don't discriminate. I hate everyone. And he mentions every single skin color. I don't discriminate. I hate everyone. Exactly the same. And it's not like I hate everyone. I'm mentioning this scene because it is like you see these people defending the Duchess, and you know which Duchess I'm talking about. You see them defending them with the R card all the time. And I've never answered them, but I find it silly because you can be a jerk regardless of your skin color. It doesn't have to be your skin color. You can be a narcissist, you can be a manipulator, you can be a arsehole, you can be a jerk, and it has absolutely nothing to do, okay, with which Pantone color are you. That doesn't have anything to do. Yes, YouTube is listening to me now, saying, "Hey, Jesus, hey, pump up the brakes. What is going on?" YouTube is putting me the Oprah meme. Hold up. Yes, this is the hard R card. Yes, and that is so wrong because it's not like your Pantone color earns you a free meal, okay? Or one way or another. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. I don't justify like bad behavior from anyone regardless of their Pantone color. I should say talk about that. Pantone. Pantone, how do you say that in English? I don't know. I've seen Pantone for years and never pronounced it live, and so this will be someone could be gaslighting you. Someone could be gaslighting you, and doesn't matter which Pantone color, with which gender, what age, what country are they from, how are they dressed. It doesn't matter. They're harming you. And if they're harming you, they don't have the right to harm you. But you have absolutely all the right to ignore them because your energy is sacred. This is very important to understand. Very, very important to understand. And yes, this for William's side. I understand that Williams has many rabid fans, and of course, if at any time William really messes up, then we'll be there to say, "Hey, well, I don't agree that much with what he says." I remember that this was last year that he was talking about. There was the Earthshot Prize. He was being interviewed, and he talked about. There's this nonsense, or there was no reason to be exploring space because we should be focusing on fixing our planet. And I was one of the saying, "Hey, hold up there, cowboy." All right, it's not like that, because exploring space, it can help us advanced science in many ways that can help us here on Earth. So it's not like you a zero sum game. It's not like if you explore Earth, you're forgetting explore space, you're forgetting Earth. It's closely related one thing with another. It's really exploring space helps you understand a lot what's going on in Earth. And big disclaimer: I've always wanted to be an astronaut since I was a child. So I said, "Hey, this is like a personal attack." Well, let's see. He's right in some way. We have priorities. We cannot even possibly make the jump to planets that we cannot reach because there are no planets like Earth, and we cannot reach them. I think the closest sun that is like ours is in Alpha Centauri. That is like what 4.5 million light years from here. That's something like exaggeration. We can never reach that with our current technology. So we actually have to focus on saving Earth first. But space exploring helps us in some way. First example, you need rockets, and you need to burn a lot of fuel, and you have to burn it in the most efficient way possible. Okay, but you have the relationship between fuel weight and rocket push, like propulsion. And the more weight you have, then the more propulsion you have, then the more fuel you need. You have an efficient machine. So by researching rockets, efficient rockets, you are finding ways of burning efficient fuel on Earth. So it's really interconnected. So I was in part agreed with him with that remark. But the interesting side of that story is that it was just a sentence in a lot of things that he said. He said a lot of things in that interview, and they just grabbed that, and everyone made a big fuss out of it. And that is what's relevant here. It's like they're waiting not only for him to sleep, but any kind of sentence or actions or whatever they can get to say, hey, he sleep, he messed up. They're waiting for that. They're waiting for that, like being on guard 24/7, waiting for him to fail. And that is going to happen to you if you have a clean track record. The longer you keep your track record clean, this envy will compound over time. There's no way around this. There's no way around this. This is a fact. The longer you have a clean track record, the more people are gonna think this person must have something bad behind doors that we cannot see anything. That is normal human behavior, because we think, oh, this nobody can be that perfect. There's somebody must be some dark side, okay, with their private life. And this is important to know, because I've mentioned many times that we need to nurture our online brand, our online persona. It's important. I was really 2 years ago, I said that there was absolutely no way I was doing videos on YouTube. No way, literally, I won't do it. You can kill me. You can get me to the I don't know, the guillotine, and I won't do videos. I'm not doing that. Never. And here we are doing live videos in English. Okay, that is not my original language. So it's something that I really encourage you to give it a try, because there's always value that you can give and someone that gets that value, and it's really liberating in many ways. Yes, maybe not for everyone, but it doesn't hurt to give it a try. Maybe you're really concerned about your privacy, But there are ways that you can have this. You don't have to talk about your personal life. You have to. You can focus on the value you give others. It's like William and Catherine. You're not. You don't have a reality show of the Cambridges, knowing about their struggles every day and all along their day. You just see what they want you to see. Their public service. They are very public personas, but extremely private at the same time. Have you noticed that? Is that possible? Well, it is possible. They are doing it. They only show people about their personal life what they want them to see. That's it. That's how it works. Okay? And it should be like the way to go for everyone, because really the online exposure, have this online exposure, you don't have to think that you have to go big to everyone. You can be focused on the value that you can give other people. And I've mentioned it other times. I'm not gonna mention that in this video, but you know that helping other people helps you in great ways, in ways that you cannot imagine. And helping them using this technology is really useful, practical, something that you can reach thousands of people with YouTube or an email list or Twitter or Instagram. Many people use them for memes, and you can use it for something of value for you and the people around you. Maybe. Okay, so we have to talk about Harry not going to the UK. It was the second part of this live. We are 50 minutes in. I'm really thankful. We still are close to 2,000 people now watching my live. Really thankful of having you here. This is the kind of things that I really. It's hard to believe. Hard for me to believe. So many people want to interact here. I'm really sorry that I cannot read all your comments, but I'm really grateful for all your comments, and you are interacting there and giving something to the conversation, adding something to the conversation, and I'm really great for that. And yes, time is flying by, Susan. That is absolutely true. Time flies when one is talking, and we are passionate about what we're talking. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about these topics. And how can you use these examples that seem so far away, that the people that have a worldwide influence, how can we grab that for us? How can we apply that for us? I think there's a lesson to be learned in anything. And since we are such into royal gossip, okay, then so be it. Let's use royal gossip for that. So if you want to support my channel, you can of course like this video. You can send a super chat, super stickers, or you can use the PayPal link on the description, and I'll be really grateful for you for supporting my channel, my videos, and everything that we interact here. Okay, I think this is important. Any plans to make collab videos with other YouTubers? I should think about that, but there's something I have to say. I'm really lazy in many ways. Many people tell me that how come I have the energy to make these videos, all these videos, daily videos, the research, being in Twitter, answering emails every now and then, and the fact is that I'm really lazy in many ways. I procrastinate a ton. I need my mind to just evolve. I'm justifying myself now, but I just want to explain the reasoning why I haven't done much collab with other YouTubers. Is that we should be like focusing in one topic in particular. And what I've been trying to do is, for example, today, the Harry news of he's not going to the UK for Prince Philip's memorial service, that just popped out today, and I just turned on the camera and began talking about that. Okay, and William's scandal started yesterday, and I'm talking about that today. So I think that that speed is sometimes not that easy to get, especially because I originally wanted to make some interactions and some collaborations with, especially is this channel. I suggest that you can take a look. There is Cameron Edwards Enigma. You search in YouTube Enigma body language is a Cameron that has a this British guy that has a body language channel. It's nice. He has a bit of a mix of everything. He's not focused on the royal family, but I at some point I said let's do something, but nothing materialized. I was really busy at the moment. He was really busy, so that's the kind of problem. And this news are so fast that I sometimes say, well, I don't have that time. I don't know if people are available. I know that I should do that, but that's why I'm considering that I'm lazy. I'm really lazy. I just prefer to, hey, well, I'm gonna check on Twitter and let my mind roll over that, and turn on the camera and just talk to you. It's just plain lazy. I should put myself to it. Maybe collaborate sometime. I don't know, maybe who could be willing to do this. So many YouTubers. There's Taz, there's Wally. Maybe we could do something, work something sometime. It will be nice. Like the 4 horsemen of anti-Sussex. Oh my God, I'm not gonna give you any ideas. I'm gonna get cancelled today with these ideas. Lazy or AD? No, I don't have attention deficit. I don't have attention deficit at all. I'm very good at focusing, but I just need to manage my mind time and my creative side. That's it. Is that it? That's it. So, yeah, that could be that. You are not lazy, so you're making the best choice to use your energy efficiently. Thanks, GA. Thanks for putting it in such a beautiful way. But no, I think I'm sometimes I prefer to take things slowly. I love my downtime. I don't consider myself a workaholic. I think people should really value whatever downtime they can get. I understand that these times are really difficult, and not many people can afford to have downtime. So I wish I could say like Harry, hey, just I don't know, meditate for 45 minutes before going to work. That's not something safe to say, but I had to say, and you know it, I put so much mind energy on my recorded videos that I really at night I'm absolutely spent. I cannot think of anything else. And maybe it's that you are right, I'm not lazy, because my energy is so spent from any video that I need half a day to recover for the video on the next day. Maybe that's a better explanation. I like to keep that schedule, and of course that schedule, even it's a bit hardcore, it allows me to some personal time for myself and my loved ones. And that's a big point. I'm explaining too much myself, but I just want to say that I will be willing to do that, but it's like I always talk about systems, and you can make yourself a system of time and organize time around the things that you have to do and the thing that you really know that you must do on the side. Maybe sometimes I'll tell you how hard and complicated it was 2020 for me in regards of working on LinkedIn. I gave so much time to LinkedIn, even more time that I gave to YouTube, and it was almost all that time was lost. Okay, it was absolutely any lost investment of time. It's really critical. So now I'm trying to be a bit more mindful of my time. I know it's not easy to have downtime, but at least I always recommend that you have at least 5 minutes of silence. No screens, no notifications, no nothing. Try to save 5 minutes to be in silence with yourself, and you will start to see a difference if you just save 5 minutes. Any one of us has 5 minutes a day to be in absolute silence with ourselves. You can start there, and I strongly encourage you to start there. Right. In our house, we think you're very interesting. Thank you. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks, Macy, for that remark. Interesting and entertaining. That's exactly my job, being interesting. Not me, not the person being interesting, but the topic of royals, the topic of body language, be interesting and entertaining for you. Remember that it should never be about you. Let's talk about Harry. I know that you want to talk about Harry. I've been talking too much about myself, and I think there was this theory, very risky theory. I should do maybe have that. Could I have that? Okay. No, I'm gonna complicate things that way. I'm gonna check it in my mobile phone. Let's talk about this possible theory about why Harry is not going to Prince Philip's memorial service. I'm going to read that I got in a very good how do you say that? The message that was really good about that. I'm gonna read it either way. Okay, H not returning for the memorial, but will visit the Queen as soon as possible, which is the same time frame as the memorial. All right. We now know who he is going to attack in the book. Okay, this is a theory. This is only a hypothesis. This is not an opinion or is an analysis or anything. It's just something that I got on a DM and to some extent makes sense. Doesn't want a photo of himself honoring the person he will soon attack. He is not going to UK now because maybe he will attack Prince Philip on that book. Okay? And it sounds gross. It sounds absolutely not fair. It sounds low. Maybe it's that. Okay? And makes sense strategically. Prince Philip cannot fight back, obviously. A deceased person cannot fight back, cannot file a defamation lawsuit, cannot file a libel lawsuit, cannot sue you. It's impossible. And nobody can sue you in the name of another person for defamation. I don't know, if there's a lawyer in the house, there's a lawyer here, please illustrate us. Let's focus on Harry now. Let's focus that we're talking on Harry. Let's zoom in that classic Harry face that he's been having all these months. Well, maybe since he married, I don't know. That is the problem, and that might be the reason Harry's not going to UK. He doesn't want a photo op honoring Prince Philip, but because that will be against the rhetoric he will have in his memoir. And he had to go last year because it was the actual death of Prince Philip. I think he could not go last year, but it's really, really odd that he's simply not attending. I don't think that he was not invited. I'm sure that he must have been invited. What do you think? Do you think that he was invited or not? I think he was. I don't think the royal family would have not invited him. I don't think that's fair to say that about them. I think he's just rejecting the invitation. He's refusing to go. He's saying that he's not going there for reasons that we cannot understand, because we cannot wrap our head around that he can go to unveil a statue of his mother, okay, but he cannot go now for a memorial for his grandfather, who meant so much, and this is important, who meant so much for his grandmother. This is important. Sometimes it's not about the link with the person directly, in this case Prince Philip, but with those that are still with us, in this case Her Majesty the Queen. She must be really sad that she's not gonna be Harry. Maybe she doesn't like, most probably she doesn't like most of Harry's behavior in the past year. Okay, maybe she was mad at him at some point, but I'm sure that some part of her, or most of her, is gonna miss Harry. I'm absolutely sure about that. And well, this is also maybe what we're talking about. Nutmeg has Henry on a very short leash. Well, that's something that I agree and disagree at the same time. I think it's amusing to think that Meghan has Harry. You know how she has him. I'm not gonna say it here. I think that is not appropriate for my family-friendly YouTube channel. But I think that is thinking that Harry doesn't have the responsibility. Doesn't have responsibility for his actions, for his decisions. He should be held accountable for this. And this DM, it will explain away why he didn't go back to see Prince Philip as he lay dying and instead did the Oprah interview. That also makes sense. Well, I don't know exactly. This is the problem of not knowing the exact time frames. We don't know exactly when the Oprah interview was recorded or filmed. We know when it was aired, okay? But we don't know exactly when it was recorded. But even so, the damage was done, and it was a very gross and tasteless damage to his own family. Now, that is one thing that should, how can I say that? Let me put this in mute. Got a notification now. That is something that we should be addressing on what are his intentions. And I like to talk about intentions, talk about what is the visible actions that we can spot on people, that we can watch people doing. As the video from William, we could hear his words, his actual words, so we could assess that this campaign was a smear campaign that had absolutely no connection with what really had happened. Everything was made up. The Africa reference was made up. We have to address the actual actions of the person so we can have a guess what are their intentions. And this was this first question that I got. What could be the Harkle's endgame? We don't know yet. And this is horrifying and fascinating at the same time. I cannot explain to you how fascinating it can be at some point, because I've tried to make sense of their actions, but I haven't. And okay, I'm banning one sugar now in real time now. There's so many things. I read your comments. Trying to read your comments. I'm trying to ban in here a couple of people trying to raise some havoc. But yes, that is the problem. You see that we made a reference to Harry. We're talking about William, that he did not say anything. He did not defend his brother at all. Well, we know that there's this motto that should not explain you should not explain yourself. You should not complain about anything. But I think Harry has been complaining about almost everything and suing everyone left and right. I'm still figuring out when will be my turn if they ever sue me, which I highly doubt, because you know that my videos are commentary, are mostly focused on the facts. I don't make up things. I just observe and try to give you this tools for observing people. But what I don't get is why would Harry do this to his family in such a spectacular way? What is this man feeling inside? Or what is he not feeling inside? Of what kind of void does he have that he feels compelled to do this, to bring so much pain, to bring so much falsehoods, and do this at the very end of his grandmother's life? We don't know. We have to be realistic. Maybe it's not the very end, but you know what I mean. How old is the queen? He should not be doing this just out of respect. It's plain common sense. It's plain humanity. It's something like humanity has been disappeared. If there was anything remotely close to humanity in him, it has disappeared. Of how bad does it go? I think he was in love with Catherine. There's a possibility. Maybe in love with Catherine, or maybe he was jealous of William for finding a woman like Catherine. That's possible too. We cannot discard that. But how much? Because it's like I was telling you about not interacting with haters, but you're wasting your energy. This is the question. What is Harry investing his energy? Is he investing his energy at his job? Whatever he does at his job? No. Is he investing his energy with his initiatives, his charities, or whatever he does? No, he's not doing that. He's investing his energy in suing people, in making other people's lives miserable. So you have to wonder, why is he doing all this? Okay, you might think, well, he's a bad person, but it's too easy of an answer, and you're really not answering the question. We are not answering the question if we just say he's just a bad person. It doesn't work like that. Suffering must be, but the problem is that if he's suffering, it sounds like someone has to help him in some way, but I think it doesn't justify his actions. It doesn't really make any sense. I really, if you ask me, I think I said that in a couple of videos. I really thought that he was going to come back to the UK for Prince Philip's memorial service. I really thought about that. I put my chips on that. I was really sure about that at some point. Not doing it was throwing gasoline in the fire. It's like he's not going to be in contact with his grandmother face to face. He's not gonna be in contact with his brother face to face. He's not gonna be in contact with his father or anything. So that's a big a big thing. That's a big thing, because it's not like, well, I'm afraid to go because I feel that UK is dangerous. I don't want to take my wife or my kids. Well, don't take your wife or your kids. Well, go by yourself. What's the problem with that? I don't think that's a problem. There's gonna be no problem with that, especially when you go and dine at night by the beach with absolutely no problem whatsoever. Okay, Charissa, our trusty moderator and really great body language buddy, has a very interesting remark. It helps him to have purpose and be fulfilled, as in every man. Every man needs a purpose and be fulfilled for something. Talking about Harry. Harry is a man. Harry needs a purpose. He truly believes Meghan is a victim and wants to save her like he couldn't do for his mother. I do believe she has thoroughly convinced him. This could be also part of it. Again, I don't like to put it like Harry's absolutely being treated like a puppet, because he has to respond for his action. But that goes around that way. These are the clues that we're trying to have to get one by one. This is important. Miranda. Everyone thinks Harry is trapped or tricked. I think he's just as narcissistic as Meghan. I agree. They're different kind of narcissists. The two of them are a bit of grandiose, because they have all this push to be seen as victims, and it's painful sometimes and really sad, because it doesn't add absolutely anything to remotely anything that they will be willing to build. You don't even build a family. They said that they wanted something, a normal life. That was a lie. A private life, that was a lie. For the simple reason that what you're doing, trying to make life miserable for so many people, many people that you maybe care about less than a couple years ago, supposedly, allegedly, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, and it should be really important to address this as an example of how a person can maybe not change, but have so many toxic feelings inside that they're just waiting for the catalyst, for something to happen to get them out. And I think Meghan was the catalyst. I refuse to think that Harry was good and happy and then suddenly became bitter and angry. I think he was bitter and angry all the time. He just didn't know how to channel it, or didn't find how to justify that to the world. Okay, he found in Meghan a way to channel that thing that he was feeling, but not in a constructive way, but in a destructive way. It's not that I'm gonna build. I'm gonna. Now this is important. You don't get into a relationship so you can fix yourself. That is the worst thing that can happen. That is the worst way to start a relationship. Nobody should start a relationship because they feel a void inside, because they feel bad inside, because they need someone. That doesn't work. That's never going to work. And conversely, you cannot start a relationship with someone or have a relationship with someone expecting that you're going to fix them in any way, or that you feel that you want to save them in any way. And I think Harry is having a double problem. the two problems at the same time. I think he thinks that somehow Megan, as he said in the Oprah interview, Megan saved me, and that was really hard to watch when he said that she was his savior. It was really painful to watch how he said those words, because he was absolutely leaving that to her. Like, she effectively saved him from his family. Okay? His words, not mine. And at the same time, he has this duty, so to speak, to save Megan from all these attacks. And this is a extremely toxic, vicious circle. We don't know how to explain how did we get here. And people, when I share in Twitter this direct message, people would tell me, "Well, this is outrageous. How if you can think about Harry could attack Prince Philip on his memoirs?" And not going to the memorial says a lot about him, about this possibility. We cannot discard this, and it's really gross that we're talking about this and the extent that can happen in a relationship and the psyche of a person that is driven by what? By nothing that could be further than toxicity, some kind of toxicity that was dormant in some way and then just exploded. And it's not like some volcanoes that explode, that erupt, and they begin to recede and calm down over time. It's like it hasn't calmed down, and you don't see that his life or his body language or his facial expressions have improved in any way after he did so much therapy, after he appeared in those specials with Oprah that, of course, has cut every tie. Every single tie has been cut with the Harkles. Oprah is not foolish. She said that this was a big setup that they did. And then she just disappeared. She ghosted them. The moment I'm expecting for Oprah to say anything about Harry and Meghan. She hasn't said anything, haven't made any remarks. Burying absolutely that internet, was deleted from the internet. I also have a video that explains the reason why she had to delete that video from the internet. And oh yes, this is important, and I like your avatar too, Guns N' Roses, trauma bonded. That's more or less like it. I don't think that's a term in itself, but it defines it pretty well. It's really, how can I say that? Sometimes outrageous the way people can act when they're under the influence of emotions. And those emotions can be internal, something that has not been solved yet. Or those emotions can be external when someone else is manipulating them. Okay? So in this case, I think it's both. Okay? This is not something that you can explain with a single side, or that he is in pain for what happened to his mother. No, he must be in pain for so many things. But it will be really bad taste if he tries to play the card of attacking people that are no longer here, because that will be a destructive attitude. And this is important. This is not just royal gossip. It's gossip in some way, gossip between quotation marks. But it's something that we should learn from. If we see a loved one falling in patterns like this, it's something that we should act, and we should, what is going on, intervene. It's so important in some moments. We notice that behavior of a loved one is not going the right way. It's not. It's breaking the regular rhythm. that we should not wait until the rope breaks to intervene, but really push and ask the questions and see what's going on and what's happening, and especially who are they hanging out with. This is really important because it's the influence of the people around the person cannot be understated, especially if it's I'm not talking about Meghan and Harry now. I'm talking in general. If it's a relationship, a romantic relationship with a person that somehow changed their behavior. This is important. Something to look for. You may say, hey, he or she, they are in love. That's why she acting this or that way. But you know your God. You can trust your God. You can trust your intuition, and it's important to identify those things before they get really bad. It's too late. It's really important to do that and make that kind of actions a priority. And we don't talk enough, and sometimes we are afraid to talk about these things. We are ashamed to talk about these things. Everyone thinks that we should know how relationships work, or that you meet someone nice and bam, the relationship is gonna work. And it's not like that. There's so many dysfunctional relationships that people just try to make them work just because they have something broken inside, and they try to connect with another person that fills a void or soothes some way that broken part that they have inside. And that is awful. That can lead to some very bad outcomes, especially if the couple has children, has kids, and hasn't realized yet how tough is the path ahead with the children, and they haven't realized what is going on inside them, what is broken, what is not solved, and they were just together just to have a mutual crutches. And when you connect that with worldwide influence, with worldwide ambitions, and absolutely no regret for empathy or the feelings of others, well, you have an explosive cocktail that can do a lot of a real deal of damage for many people, and even for themselves and their children. And now I'm talking about Meghan and Harry. Have you figured out? Have you really think this through? How can this affect your children? And I'm not gonna. I've repeated it over and over again. I'm not talking about any conspiracies, okay, regarding this topic. You know how my channel is. I'm gonna talk about the children. They are not thinking this through. Their children will be affected by this. There is no way around that. That is just plain statistics. That is that. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, this is a nice plan. She wanted to be the next Princess Diana, admired and recognized by millions, but with an overbearing twist. When she saw it wasn't going to happen, she wanted out. Yeah, sadly, it was like that. It was like an archetype. We're trying to fill an archetype, and we humans love this. The archetypes that feel this narrative, this romantic narratives, that someone comes to save something, that someone comes to revolutionize something, that someone comes to change something. And sometimes we want a hard change in the status of things because it's exciting, because it's yeah, that's the word, exciting. And that is one of the reasons, of the interesting reasons why zombie movies and series and fiction is so popular, why the zombie topics are so popular. Because where do zombies come from? They come from a zombie apocalypse. What does happen in a zombie apocalypse? Where everything goes to shit. That's yeah, everything goes down the drain. Society goes down the drain. Our jobs go down the drain. Credit card debt goes down the drain. Everything is reset and everything is level to the law of the strongest one. You have to survive. That is the appeal of zombie narratives. People love that because in their lives they would like a hard reset of their status, and zombie apocalypse is the easiest explanation for that. By the way, I am yes, I'm gonna. Some of you have mentioned this over and over again. The genetic pain, now. I didn't remember Harry saying this, but I'm going to do some research on that. Genetic pain. By the way, if you, now that I talk about movies and I'm talking about zombies, there are two movies that I like a lot. My two favorite zombie movies, if you are into it. My first favorite zombie movie is Shaun of the Dead, British movie. Really funny, really great script. The director is Edward. I forgot his last name now. And my second movie is World War C with Brad Pitt. I don't like Brad Pitt movies that much, but that one was great. Edward Knight. What is the Shaun of the Dead? I always forget Edward's last name. I don't know why. I like that is part. Shaun of the Dead is part of a trilogy. Simon Pegg is the actor. What's the name of the director? The director is directed by Edgar Wright. It's not Edward, it's Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright made really good, what is called the Cornetto trilogy. Shaun of the Dead is part of the Cornetto trilogy, and the other is At War's End. That is an amazing movie too, and Hot Fuzz. The three movies of the Cornetto trilogy are amazing, and the other movie that was really great from Edgar Wright was Baby Driver. It's amazing. It's amazing. And the best scene in Baby Driver is the tequila scene. That you cannot miss it. You go on YouTube and you go Baby Driver tequila scene. That is cinema perfection. Okay, that is cinema perfection. Yeah, and Hot Fuzz is great. It would be great to watch movies together sometime. You just turn on a movie. I think that's illegal. I cannot do that, but it would be fun. Let's watch a movie together, and we just keep saying things and turn on British movies and try to figure out how they work. Or maybe we could watch Notting Hill. It would be great. That movie is really amazing. That is also a great movie. No, I have to delve into that genetic pain. That genetic pain sounds like I don't know, to a heavy metal industrial rock band. Hey, we are Genetic Pain and we came to rock. And with you, Genetic Pain. Yeah, maybe I call, if I have a rock band, I call it that, Genetic Pain. I can think about the shirts, Genetic Pain, like a DNA shaken with pain, all red and yellow and everything. Yes, I love Notting Hill and Love Actually, great movie, and Bridget Jones' Diary, really fun too. I don't remember the sequel that much, but I remember that I had a lot of fun with the first one. Love those British movies. Yes, we have maybe I'll do something sometime. Have a few friends. We have a garage band a long time ago. Hey, we should reunite and rebrand ourselves Genetic Pain. Hello. Yeah, trademark it. I will trademark genetic pain, but I'm sure the Sussexes already trademarked it because they trademark everything. Orinoco, Pearl, everything. They they should have a reality show based on what can we trademark today, and go and trademark something. That would be great. I would watch that. I will watch it so you don't have to. Oh, this is really fun. He was waiting to be 34 to know he had genetic pain. My God, I have to. It has to. I think it has to do with the Gregor Mendel. Maybe it has to have with Gregor Mendel. It's genetic pain when you at school were trying to make sense of the that genetic the loss of inheritance, right? You have a white cat and a black cat, and then they have the offspring, and they are two white cats and one black cat. And why? Gregor Mendel. Is that how it's pronounced? Oh my God, Lady C is a legend. It's an absolute legend. I would be like Wayne's World. Oh my God, we're not worthy. I'm too much of a noob to get together with Lady C. I'm a total noob. I'm really. I should be like polishing my knowledge and my experience at least one or a couple of years more. She's really, she has been at it like decades, I think. It's like the Miyagi of this. Lady C. Yes, they haven't gotten Archwell trademark yet, lol. LOL. Yes, that's been a reality. But yes, this is welcome to, if you haven't been in my live, to one of my lives, this is what my lives are about. Juggling ideas back and forth, trying to talk about what is going on with the Royals, trying to make sense of what the it's generational or genetic. I don't know. It's generational or genetic. Now we have to decide. I don't. Okay, this is great. Genetic pains is when your genes are too tight. Okay, that could be too. So this is how it goes. We talk a bit about these topics. We have a good time. I'm trying to before starting this live, I made some quick notes of how can I make them better, and I'm trying to work with what is called here scenes. You can change and put maybe video, maybe images, maybe other options here to have more things to talk along, images, tweets, and prepare better my lives. They're a bit raw now. I'm a lot more fluent today than a couple days back and a week ago. So that's a plus. But I want to make these lives more interesting, more dynamic, and even there will be competition for the regular recorded videos. And the idea is that whatever we discuss here ends up becoming a short video, like a summary video. That will be the idea. That will be great. Sometimes it can be done, sometimes it doesn't. So it depends. Depends on the time. Okay, this is interesting. I like this kind of this is like that movie from you already know that maybe you're already aware that I'm a movie buff, some kind of a geek of cinema. Jesus, if they are watching, the Harkles are watching, what would you say to them? I would say, I know that Megan and Harry are watching me right now. And if they are not watching me right now, they put someone to watch my lives and my videos and just send them important clips so they can review them and, I don't know, stomp the floor, hit the walls, scream, whatever they do when they watch my videos. But I tell them that there's still a chance. There's always a chance. There was always a chance to do things right. And I know that somehow you want something, because everybody wants something at any point of their lives. The trick is getting what you want without messing around with people's lives. It is possible. It's a constructive way of thinking. Maybe you want attention. I understand that most people that want to change the world need to bring awareness to them. The Cambridges need to bring awareness to what they do. But doing it in a constructive way might seem boring in many ways, but it's the right way to do. And you really have to think about your children. You really have to think that when your children grow up, because they will grow up someday, will you be proud to show them, or will you be proud to know that they're going to find out everything that you did of your public track record? Are you going to be proud of your children watching you, reading about you, finding out about you? And will you be proud of what your children will see in the future? That is a big question. That is a question that is not only for the Harkles. I think that's for anyone. This is a very important thing that we have to think about. And maybe, and this goes for you, my body language buddies, I'm talking to you now. Maybe you have children, maybe you don't have children yet, maybe you don't plan on having children. Well, that's whatever you floats your boat. Maybe you can think, if you don't have children or you don't want to have children, that's perfectly okay. You can think of someone that you really love, someone that you care about. Try to think your actions like that person is seeing them or watching you in some way, not creepily watching you, not in a creepy way. No, that being aware of what you're doing, okay? Because that gives you a second level of awareness. I have an NLP guide, and one of the exercises that you watch yourself like in third person. This is very important, watching yourself in third person. But it also helps a lot that when you're doing something that you don't know if you might regret it later, think about these people that you love, especially your children, watching you and being aware of what you are doing. Imagine that it goes public, and imagine that it just is brought to their attention. How would you feel? That's it. That's the best measure that I can give you for almost anything. A person that you care a lot about, and whoever has children, most probably you really care about your children. Imagine your children realizing your actions, your intentions, what you want to do, and why do you want to do it. Would you be proud of it? Big question to ask every day, because our life begins every day. Every day we have, I have a kind of a Scottish accent there. Every day we have a new chance to restart our life, and a great deal of energy. Now that we talk about energy earlier, we have that opportunity to do better and to be a better version of ourselves, and to dig deeper inside ourselves. No matter who we do it for, it will only benefit us. And if we benefit ourselves in a constructive way, we will be building not the whole world, because the whole world is too big for us to reach and to affect, but in our small circle. And our small circle will be more than enough to do a cascade of goodwill. This sounds cheesy. You know that most of you know my snarky remarks, but this is important. May sound cheesy, may sound too romantic for you, but this is the real deal. This is how you live a life of service, of true service, and finally find meaning. And not finally is not the word. You find meaning every day to your life. And basically that's why I tell you much love and bliss, because love is something that we all need, and because we need it, we have to give it first. And bliss is what you want to achieve, that sense of bliss, that you are happy to get out of bed in the morning, are excited to start your day, that are jumping from the bed to brushing your teeth, to getting your coffee, to going your day in the best possible energy, is because you're happy of already know that the outcome is going to be great. No matter the challenges, no matter the obstacles are the ones that are going to give you the lessons to really make the most out of life. And this is one of the most beautiful things that we can experience as human beings. I don't know what else to say today. I don't think any other way to close today's live. And I'm really, really proud and humble and thankful of you being here with me. And I really, really appreciate the time we share together here. Really, really thankful. If there is any other way I could do it for you, I will be doing research, bringing it to you, doing the video, recorded video, live videos, my email list. In link in the description, you can get my 100 body language tips. Get to my email list. I'm just sharing daily lessons in my email list to help anyone. If you want to give back, all you have to do is go for the link in PayPal in the description to donate, to keep the lights on, to support my channel. Is that easy? You can do it or you don't. It's absolutely up to you. But what I want you to realize, the most important action here to take is to put these things to practice. Okay? This should not be just sound echoing in time. It should be transformed into action. So this blend between gossip, between news, between behavior of doubtful intentions, well, we only have the option of transforming it into something good for our own lives. The only way is acting. That's it. That's no secret. So my body language buddies, was a real pleasure tonight. And here, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And until we meet again, and whatever the winds, whatever shore the winds takes us, we will be meeting again and sharing a space again. Have a good night. Have a blissful sleep. Whoever who is starting the day, have a wonderful day all over the world here, and have a blessed time with yourself and with your loved ones. I love you. Goodbye. Good night.